there's a lot of Bitcoiners that wear Brianna made me feel bad. I was reading a book this weekend about that.
What are you muttering?
Number go up. I'm reading this book right now. I'm in the NFT section because I'm trying to learn Bitcoin. Like everyone's trying to learn Bitcoin. Relearn, because I thought a lot of us was the ETF. I admit that, and then it broke down, and then it's been off to the races ever since. And there's a lot of people who just believe because, again, it's a diversification.
Sharply.
And I think there'll be an Ethereum LTF. You know,
this
there'll be an
MicroStrategy
Ethereum ETF, and then you're gonna have to go buy that one and just get ready. Okay.
Yeah, 68,990 is the magic number.
I think it's unbelievable.
The highs.
And
Bitcoin price is hitting some 2-year highs as the crypto moves closer to its all-time high, around 69K. Investors, though, cautious going into the month of March. Historically, Bitcoin has fallen 6 of the last 11 Marches, notably falling 25% in 2020 ahead of its last halving event set to take place again this spring. Worldwide Asset Exchange and Tether co-founder William Quigley's with us. William, it's good to see you again. I wonder, I mean, this is another story where there is arguments on the speculative side, but also on fundamental analysis of at least money flows.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at where we are pre-halvening, that's going to happen in April, where Bitcoin's reward for miners drops by half. If we look at where we are versus the last one, I'd say, which happened 4 years ago, we're in better shape. You know, obviously we didn't have the ETFs back then. If you look at things like derivative volume, it was nascent 4 years ago, now very high. We've just hit a record. And the ETF flows have actually surprised me. I was a little skeptical that they would take off quickly. And now we have close to, I want to say $50 billion. It's about 740,000 Bitcoin held in these ETFs. Daily, we're getting between 150 million up to $500 million flowing in. So there's a lot of positive forces that are pushing Bitcoin up right now. And this is before the halvening, which is usually after that fact when Bitcoin really skyrockets. Oh, anything from like pre-2020, there was very little institutional interest in Bitcoin. It was a retail-driven, globally retail-driven phenomenon. And now I would say there is a lot of institutional money that tracks it. It's also why you see such interest in derivatives. The volatility in Bitcoin, I think, is one thing that really attracts a lot of institutional investors. And you have to understand that, you know, Bitcoin is maybe the only globally traded asset that I know of whose demand is purely based on sentiment. You know, there's not a Bitcoin company, there isn't Bitcoin price earning ratios. It's just a sentiment driven token. And what you can say about that, of course, is that sentiment has no limits. You can always be more optimistic. And so this rally may be the biggest we've seen. If we just look at where we stand today, pre-halvening for Bitcoin, and look at historical patterns, that would suggest, and I'm not predicting this, I'm just saying if you applied the historical patterns, it would suggest Bitcoin being in excess of $300,000 at the peak of this next bull market. And since all tokens are correlated to Bitcoin, that means that all the other tokens like Ethereum and Solana and some of these others will move up in lockstep. Those, however, usually move higher, directionally the same, but since they have a lower market cap, they tend to move up to a greater degree. Yeah, well, first, it is the first stablecoin, and so therefore it's and the biggest. The Tether is the entry point for acquiring Bitcoin or any other crypto for all the institutional buyers. Most institutional buyers first acquire Tether and then go and buy Bitcoin. And the reason is because virtually all trading pairs that have any sizable volume with Bitcoin are matched to Tether. Tether is the way you acquire crypto. So when you see the Tether market cap going to 100 billion, what it's showing you is there's a lot of anticipation of people waiting to get in or getting in right now, not just through ETFs, but buying actually on the exchanges. And I should mention, the exchanges only have less than 10% of all Bitcoin that's ever been mined. So there was a day not that long ago where the ETFs acquired 10 times in that day the amount of Bitcoin that gets produced in a day. So there's only 900 Bitcoin acquired in any given day. Next month, that will be 450. So if this volume of buying keeps going on the ETFs, supply is going to be constrained, which of course is likely to affect the price.
Run up in stocks around the world, yes, and in corners of the world. It's interesting that the German DAX has also run up to a record high, even yes, where all the economy there is in technical recession.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So like I told you, I definitely see a big pullback in the first quarter. Then the master magician set up a distraction so the Fed can cut rates, and then we move up. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin and crypto pumping. As soon as CME opened last night, we just been slowly creeping up. And now, of course, we have Jim Cramer changing the tune to Bitcoin and Ethereum. But guys, we know we're going to be pulling back. We always pump at the beginning of the month, guys. It's like clockwork. Take advantage, but do not fall for the illusion. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, make sure you watch this short video. I'll put a little link in the description. But we have Elon Musk mapping out the plan, and we had Barry White told us a long time ago that the machines were coming. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget about the actual indicators. We have yield rates, which are slowly rising. We know they're nowhere where they should be. And we have the dollar down. We have volume and crypto up. And then we have Tether and USDC. And we see Tether is about to touch that $100 billion mark. And, guys, we know that movie is definitely around the corner. And then we have the Fed. Repo at $441 billion. Make sure you're pulling that on a daily basis. That's how they manipulate yields. And then, of course, guys, we have Jerome in the house this Wednesday in front of Congress. And we know bond yields are going to be going crazy. And we already know what he's going to say. He's going to say it's going to be data dependent. The United States economy and the consumer still remain strong. And we know that is definitely not correct. We can look at the numbers. But as long as 401ks are where they should be, as long as people are making money in crypto, it distracts the sheep so the NWO can build. Remember, guys, while all this is happening, so therefore they can build the fourth industrial revolution. We have Bitcoin over 67,000, altcoins pumping, but as we know, there are no real use cases yet. But we know it's for the digital economy. But we also know they're going to be pulling this money out, so therefore they can build and we're going to go a whole 10 years with no growth in the U.S. But we know there's a banking collapse right around the corner. We have Basel III, the capital requirements, and we know crypto is going to be the excuse on why these banks start to crumble. And like I stated, that Tether movie is right around the corner. Every time Bitcoin has pumped, we saw Tether right behind it. On the stock market, we see layoff after layoff after layoff, and stocks hitting all-time highs. We have the German stock market hitting a high, but they're in a recession. And we know the United States has been in a recession. I prove we're in a great depression. But guys, it's all an illusion. Make your money, but do not let it distract you. Remember, greed kills. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, do not forget about the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all up. And then, guys, of course, we have crypto stocks surging along with Bitcoin. And remember, guys, because we're making this big move up, there's going to be a big pullback. Make sure you're hedging yourself. If you're part of my Patreon, you know how to do that. But, guys, we're definitely going to be pulling back. We always pull back in the first quarter. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then also, guys, because Bitcoin is pumping, we have a lot of altcoins pumping right along with it. And if you have a little bit of money, you want to go with those cheap altcoins in order to get the biggest gains. Again, if you're part of my stock premium Patreon account, I definitely told you the cryptos that move right along with Bitcoin or Ethereum. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. And then lastly, guys, we have state-owned newspaper cautions Chinese crypto investors despite trading ban. And again, guys, this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic. We know China is using Hong Kong as a straw man, and that's helping pump crypto. Remember, guys, they have futures. Hong Kong has futures, and then we had another player come in, CBOE. So the casino is what's pumping crypto, not the retail investor. This is all institutions, the hedge funds coming in to pump it, so therefore they make money whether it's going up or going down. We know majority of the retail investors that came in 2017, 2020, they're now broke. They don't have access to the capital that they had before. And all you have to do is look at the numbers. But remember, guys, in my NWO book, I explained to you how the mainstream media works. We move off of topics. Right now, Bitcoin is a major topic. After the halving, we'll go back to the back burner, and they'll bring us back out when they're ready to pull the rug. We know it's right around the corner. Remember, this is an election year. They just want to hold us up until the fourth quarter to pull that rug. And in 2025, the sheep are going to face reality. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.